Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I would show you guys my 1992 W250, and it is a 5-speed 4-wheel drive first gen Cummins. Let's get to it. Here we go. Dodge Ram grill. When I bought the truck, it had an aftermarket Chinese one. We had to fix that. I just threw this one on, and then it also has a bumper on it that's not the correct year, so we got to get that changed. But anyway, just kind of showing you guys mostly the raw footage of what this truck is and what it looks like. And when I got it, it had a set of spacers and 4th gen wheels. I had to change that, put the stocks back on. In my opinion, that's the best looking wheel and tire setup, is the OEM hubcaps, and with a little bit beefier wheel for the W250. So going around, this is a pretty unique paint color as well. It's the bonsai blue with the silver two-tone with the original stripe. And then at some point the tailgate got swapped out for a older style tailgate, but they did paint match it. So anyway, if you guys comment below if you guys know of a bonsai blue two-tone Dodge LE tailgate panel, I'd be interested to try to find one of those. All right, moving around here, pretty straight bed. Check out the inside. It's been used. You know, gooseneck hitch plate, a dealer option style one. There's a bunch of these in the 90s where you flip this up and then it would have a little plate carrier on the back that would kind of push up the ball. The plate carrier is not working. It's kind of like sheared off. So anyway, you'd have to go underneath the truck and use like a pry bar to just kind of shove the ball up. So I'm gonna take out this right here and put in probably a B&W flip over ball. So anyway, haven't even cleaned out the truck. And it looks like they had a shell on here one time. They got some glue, clean all that up, make it look nice. But coming around this side, has a pretty cool stance to it. Back here, it does have air ride suspension. It's a little bit unique. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but if you look at it, it's still bolted to the leaves. So it's just kind of an extra little helper if you're, you know, towing something, which I plan to hook up to my gooseneck trailer and use this truck a little bit, so it'll be good. It's not just gonna be a show pony, it's gonna be put to work. Also, got my buddy Christian in the background. He's here hanging out today. Show you a cool little truck model he picked up for me. That was nice of him. All right, so doing a little interior, we have good old gray interior. The bench seat honestly looks like it's in really, really good shape. And then door panels, looks like, you know, they've seen better days, but luckily around here at Keeper Tuned, we have plenty of door panels hanging around. It's got cruise control, pretty decent headliner in here. It's got some old school tint. It's pretty cool. Might get that redone. So it's got the 5-speed. It's got the old transfer case shift lever here. One in 1992, they had the twist-on shifter, and then in 93, they have the bolt-on style. So I have this guy I've been saving. It has a slight bend to it. I think it'll be really nice just to have that a little bit closer. So anyway, you get the idea. And then we have a set of floor mats. So these are all actually the good old first gen industry mats with the little nubs. Shout out to him. Cool that I got his mats on one of the trucks I bought. Aftermarket radio, guy I bought the truck from said that this works, brake controller works. Few odometer gauges, got the tack. We're gonna replace that with factory tack. We're gonna get rid of these and put the good old pod here. I feel like the truck was a little bit on the decline. When I got it, you know, you can just see people kind of, you know, put in little patches that aren't really gonna help your truck be fixed in the long run. Bunch of screws just gonna crack out the panels and stuff. So this is why I'm around. I have the first gen parts there on my website at keepertuned.com, and you know, putting screws in panels, you know, and you know, when you break your hood release, you're using a pair of pliers. It's just not a fix. It's gonna be a long-term thing. You know, it's gonna make your truck just kind of slowly just go downhill to the point where there's, you know, significant work that needs to go into to get the truck fixed. So anyway, we're gonna change all that stuff. We're gonna put new panels on, OEM panels. We're gonna put an OEM hood release. We're gonna just clean up everything in this truck and make it look a lot nicer. Let's check out under the hood. One thing I really like about this truck is it's a 92. And for me personally, I really like the 92 and 93 first gens. Just in 91, you had the transition from non-intercooled to intercooled. So this is the intercooled 92. 91, they had specific wiring for the intercooled trucks, the second half of 91. And in 92, they kind of ironed out all the bugs that they had in those wiring harnesses. I've been, just from doing this a while, I've noticed that the 91 harnesses tend to be a little bit finicky. So anyway, this truck under the hood kind of has some wiring gremlins. As you can see, still has all these right here, 1, 2, and 3. That's how you know it's a 92. Still has the old fusible links. Has a few things going on here. We're gonna try to clean that up. They decided to put some really interesting plugs in here. Not really a fan of how they address the wiring. Looks like they fixed this with a little bit of glue or something. Yeah, we're gonna swap that out for all OEM. There's an ATS turbo. I'm gonna be taking that off. You know, the dryer's been swapped out, so hopefully the AC is all nice and charged up. It looks like they have an older style hood light, which works. Boom. So we got power, that's good. Oh, so we have a Mishimoto radiator, which I think these are pretty good radiators. Hard to beat the original brass copper, but you know, they're not bad. I think I'm gonna leave that in there. And then right there, we have an aftermarket intercooler. So you can see it right through here. They're running the original boots and they just kind of stretched them to fit, you know, the intercooler. So they have these brackets. I don't know if you guys can see. They're the far from stock brackets. Replacement for that one that I think you guys will like. Yeah, let's see if we can fire this thing up and see if we can see how she sounds. Good old 12-valve Cummins. To show you, they did put in a nice rigid light bar. I think it's probably because of the OEM lights they were running, which driving this thing at, you know, at night, it's actually pretty good. They're not bad. There's a lot of stock headlights that aren't as good. I think this one maybe they're halogens, so they might be a step up from the, you know, factory original from 92, but either way, the headlights weren't terrible at night. But anyway, I'll show you guys something cool. These headlights I got a hold of. They were in a truck I bought. They're actually the truck light ones. They're from Rigid Industries. And yeah, I figured got them in on a truck. Just gonna go ahead and throw them in. But yeah, it seems like everything works on this truck. It just needs a little bit of TLC. You know, just little things need addressed just to kind of fix this truck up. But I'm glad we have plenty of parts here to keep it tuned. So, but anyway, let's go right back to the shop. I'll show you guys something cool inside the shop and we'll go from there. All right, what's going on, guys? So we are back in the shop here. I got a bunch of cool stuff I'm going to show you, but first shout out to Christian over here. He picked me up one of these. This is a really cool first gen toy that looks just like mine, so thank you, man. Appreciate you. Right here, I've been collecting a lot of these original items from back in the day, and one of those companies back in the day was Banks. I've got a hold of a couple of these ultra rare pamphlets. You know, they didn't have the internet back then advertising. They would basically have a pamphlet. Here's the Banks truck doing a burnout. Guys in a shirt and tie. It's pretty cool. They brag a lot about, you know, horsepower, torque, acceleration boost, all that stuff increasing. I don't know if anyone's actually measured these numbers or really put this to the test, but I want to see what we can do. So they do talk about you know, the intercoolers and how their intercooler, which is that one right there for the intercooled trucks. This one's for a non-intercooled truck, the intercooler, to make it intercooled. But it's 50% thicker core to the air-to-air Banks intercooler right with the stock unit. So they're not trashing the stock unit. They're just saying that, hey, if you're going to be pushing more boost with, you know, a Banks turbo, you know, one of these guys right here that's ultra rare, super hard to find, that, hey, you know, you might want to cool your truck a little bit better. I'm just saying, hey, you know, we've improved this 50% thicker, so you're able to move more air and cool your truck better, you know. Nothing wrong with the original. If you have original parts, if you're adding performance, boom, get a little bit bigger. Okay, cool. So anyway, I'm not gonna say exactly what we're gonna do to the old blue truck, but you know, just kind of giving some subtle hints here. I wanted to show you guys some cool stuff. We have some Banks pots from back in the day. We have the good old factory tachometers. If your truck was a non-intercooled, there's the, you know, kit to intercool it, along with the old intercooler right here. The grill wouldn't fit, so there's the Banks grill. And then we have another one down here. Anyway, so there's a bunch of these cool products I've got over the years. Here's the old floor mats from back in the day, pamphlet showing those. And just a bunch of cool things, and I'm gonna try to see if we can put some of this stuff to good use and use it in the truck. That's pretty much it for the video. Just wanted to show you guys the new W250, show you what I have going on, show you the current state that it's in, and then I'm gonna be doing a follow-up video here soon. If you guys haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, and stick around because we're gonna be having an epic truck build. It's gonna be sweet, and we'll see if the proof is in the pudding. We'll see if these are actual numbers. So, all right, guys, catch you next time. Keep her tuned.